Shaheed-e-Millat Khan Liaquat Ali Khan, a pillar of Pakistan's founding. In the annals of South Asian history, few figures embody the transition from colonial subjugation to sovereign nationhood as profoundly as Khan Liaquat Ali Khan. Revered as Quaid-e-Millat, leader of the nation, and Shaheed-e-Millat, martyr of the nation, he stands as the architect who not only helped forge Pakistan, but also steered its fragile infancy through tempests of partition, communal strife, and geopolitical maneuvering. Born on October 1, 1895, in the twilight of British imperial dominance, Liaquat rose from aristocratic roots to become Muhammad Ali Jinnah's indispensable lieutenant, culminating in his appointment as Pakistan's inaugural Prime Minister on August 15, 1947, a role he held for an unparalleled 1,524 days until his tragic assassination on October 16, 1951. His life, spanning just over half a century, mirrored the seismic shifts of his era: the awakening of Muslim political consciousness, the cataclysmic birth of two nations, and the dawn of the Cold War. If Jinnah was the visionary who dreamed Pakistan into existence, Liaquat was the pragmatist who built its foundations, laying down policies that shaped its domestic ethos and international stance. Yet his story is not merely of triumph. It is laced with intrigue, unfulfilled promises, and an untimely end that left an indelible scar on the young republic. This biography delves into the rich tapestry of his life, weaving historical context with personal anecdotes to illuminate a man whose legacy endures as a beacon of resilience and democratic idealism in Pakistan's turbulent narrative. The historical background, colonial shadows, and the quest for identity. To understand Liaquat Ali Khan's journey, one must first grasp the sprawling canvas of British India in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a land of staggering diversity, simmering resentments, and burgeoning nationalisms. The Indian subcontinent, under the British Raj since the dissolution of the East India Company in 1858 following the 1857 rebellion, often termed the Sepoy Mutiny, was a patchwork of princely states and directly administered provinces. Muslims, comprising about a quarter of the population, were concentrated in regions like Punjab, Bengal, Sindh, and the Northwest Frontier Province, but they grappled with a sense of marginalization. The rebellion had disproportionately punished Muslim elites, stripping them of lands and influence, as the British perceived them as the primary instigators. This era birthed reformist movements, none more influential than Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's Aligarh movement, which championed Western education as a pathway to Muslim revival, countering the perceived Hindu dominance in emerging political spheres. The turn of the century saw the formation of the All India Muslim League in 1906 at Dhaka, now Dhaka, initially as a loyalist body to protect Muslim interests within the imperial framework. Figures like Aga Khan III and Maulana Muhammad Ali Jinnah steered it toward advocacy for separate electorates granted in the 1909 Morley Minto reforms. However, the League's trajectory shifted dramatically with the rise of pan-Indian nationalism under the Indian National Congress, led by luminaries like Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru. The Khilafat movement, 1919 to 1924, a Muslim-led protest against the dismantling of the Ottoman Caliphate post-World War I, briefly united Hindus and Muslims, but its collapse amid the Chauri Chaura incident and Gandhi's suspension of non-cooperation exposed deep fissures. Liaquat's era was defined by escalating communal tensions. The 1930s brought the Government of India Act 1935, introducing provincial autonomy, but the 1937 elections revealed the League's weakness. It won only 109 of 482 Muslim seats, while Congress dominated. This humiliation galvanized Jinnah, who reorganized the League into a mass party, emphasizing the two-nation theory, that Hindus and Muslims were distinct nations deserving separate homelands. The 1940 Lahore Resolution, drafted by figures including Liaquat, formalized the demand for independent states in Muslim-majority areas, though it was later interpreted as a call for a single Pakistan. World War II accelerated decolonization. Britain's weakened post-war position, coupled with the League's stellar performance in the 1945 to 1946 elections, securing 87% of Muslim seats, made partition inevitable. The Mountbatten Plan of June 3, 1947, partitioned India along religious lines, birthing Pakistan on August 14th and India on August 15th. The human cost was staggering. Over 1 million perished in communal violence, and 14 to 18 million were displaced in history's largest migration. This maelstrom was Liaqat's inheritance. As Prime Minister, he confronted a nation bereft of infrastructure. Pakistan inherited only 17% of British India's revenue, but 33% of its army, amid refugee influxes, economic disarray, and the Kashmir conflict. The early Cold War added layers. The US sought allies against Soviet expansion, while Pakistan navigated neutrality. Liaqat's policies reflected this, aligning westward for aid while fostering ties with Muslim nations and the Soviet bloc. His assassination in 1951, amid domestic plots and regional rivalries, symbolized the precariousness of this new order, setting the stage for military interventions that plagued Pakistan's democracy.
Early life and family background, roots in aristocracy. Liaquat Ali Khan's origins were steeped in the grandeur and contradictions of India's Muslim nobility. Born Nawabzada Liaquat Ali Khan on October 1, 1895, in Karnal, Punjab province, present-day Haryana in India, he entered a world of privilege amid colonial decay. His family, the Nawabs of Karnal, traced their lineage to Persian nobility, claiming descent from the ancient Sasanian king Khosrow I, though such assertions often blended myth with history. More concretely, they hailed from Talera village in Jansath Tehsil, Muzaffarnagar district, Uttar Pradesh, and had assimilated into the Urdu-speaking elite of northern India. His father, Ruknud Daula Shamsher Jung Nawab Bahadur Rustam Ali Khan, was a progressive landlord who embodied the post-1857 accommodation with British rule. Rustam's father, Nawab Ahmad Ali Khan, had sided with the crown during the rebellion, earning imperial titles, land grants, and rent remissions that sustained the family's estates. However, these holdings dwindled over generations, prompting questions about the authenticity of their Nawabi status in a changing socio-economic landscape. Rustam married Mahmuda Begum, daughter of Nawab Khair Ali Khan of Rajpur in Saharanpur, and Liaquat was their second of 4 sons. The household was a blend of tradition and modernity. Islamic piety coexisted with Western influences, fostering philanthropy and education. Young Liaquat's upbringing in Karnal was idyllic yet formative. Homeschooled initially, he learned the Quran, Hadith, and classical music, developing a lifelong affinity for singing, dancing, and theater, traits that lent him an amiable, warm-hearted demeanor. He was known for his reserve, yet his charisma shone in social settings. In 1910, at age 15, he joined the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College School in Aligarh, an institution synonymous with Muslim Renaissance. Here, under the shadow of Sir Syed's legacy, Liaquat thrived, matriculating in 1915 and advancing to the college proper. At Aligarh Muslim University, as it became, he pursued a Bachelor of Science in Political Science, graduating in 1918, followed by a Bachelor of Laws, LLB, that same year. The campus was a hotbed of discourse, where students debated colonialism, pan-Islamism, and self-rule. Liaquat's involvement in student unions honed his oratory and organizational skills, preparing him for future advocacy.
His marriage to Jahangira in 1918 occurred amid these studies, adding personal maturity to his academic growth. His father's death in 1919 opened doors to Oxford. Enrolling at Exeter College in 1919, Liaquat immersed himself in Western jurisprudence, earning a Master of Laws (LLM) in Law and Justice in 1921. He was awarded a prestigious Bronze Medallion for academic excellence, a rare honor for Indian students. Oxford's vibrant intellectual scene captivated him. He served as treasurer of the Majlis Society, a forum for Indian students to champion their rights and debate independence. This exposure to global perspectives sharpened his views on democracy and parliamentary systems. Called to the bar at London's Inner Temple in 1922, Liaquat qualified as a barrister but never practiced, opting instead for politics. His education instilled a hybrid worldview. Ali Gar's emphasis on Muslim identity fused with Oxford's liberal rationalism, equipping him to navigate the complexities of India's freedom struggle. Anecdotes from peers describe him as reserved yet engaging, often mediating debates with wit and insight. This foundation not only elevated his status, but also aligned him with Jinnah's vision, making education a cornerstone of his later policies in Pakistan.
Entry into politics, from barrister to nationalist. Returning to India in 1923, Liaquat Ali Khan stepped into a political arena roiled by the non-cooperation movement's aftermath and the League's revival. Initially courted by the Indian National Congress, meeting Nehru and Gandhi, he gravitated toward the Muslim League, drawn by its focus on minority safeguards. Jinnah, impressed by Liaquat's Oxford polish and Aligarh roots, mentored him, dubbing him his right-hand man. Liaquat's debut came in 1926, elected to the United Provinces Legislative Council from Muzaffarnagar's rural Muslim constituency. He served until 1940, rising to deputy president in 1932. His speeches championed Muslim quotas and services, resolved communal riots, and organized student federations with allies like Sir Zia-Din Ahmed. In 1924, at the League's Lahore session, he proposed organizational reforms, showcasing early leadership. The 1930s were transformative. Attending the first Roundtable Conference in London with Jinnah in 1930, Liaquat helped persuade Jinnah's return from self-exile in 1934. Elected to the Central Legislative Assembly in 1940 from Bareilly unopposed and re-elected in 1945 to 46 from Meerut, he became a vocal critic of colonial policies. As Honorary General Secretary of the League from November 26, 1936 to 1947, he streamlined operations, convened the Action Committee, chaired the Central Parliamentary Board, and managed Dawn, the League's mouthpiece. His 1932 marriage to Sheila Irene Pant, later Begum Rana Liaquat Ali Khan, a Christian economist who converted to Islam, added a progressive dimension. Rana, educated at Lucknow University, became a staunch supporter, later founding women's organizations in Pakistan. Liaquat's politics blended idealism with pragmatism. He advocated unity at the 1932 Provisional Muslim Education Conference in Aligarh, yet emphasized Muslim distinctiveness. By the 1940s, his role in elections and negotiations cemented his stature, transitioning from provincial legislator to national statesman.
Role in the Pakistan movement, Jinnah's indispensable ally. Liaquat's imprint on the Pakistan movement was profound, evolving the League from elitist club to mass mobilizer. Joining in 1923, he attended key sessions, but his ascent accelerated post-1936. As General Secretary, he orchestrated the 1940 Lahore Resolution's groundwork, though not its drafter. In 1941, at Madras, he moved amendments integrating the Pakistan demand into League goals, clarifying the vision for autonomous Muslim states. The 1945-46 elections were his masterstroke. As chairman of the Central Parliamentary Board, he led campaigns that secured 446 of 495 Muslim seats provincially and 30 of 30 centrally. This mandate validated the two-nation theory, pressuring Britain. Liaquat negotiated with the cabinet mission, rejecting initial federal proposals. In the 1946 interim government under Viceroy Wavell, later Mountbatten, he led League nominees as finance minister, alongside Ghulam Muhammad, finance, Zafarullah Khan, foreign affairs post-1949, Nishtar, communications, and Mandal, law, resigning in 1950 over minority issues. His poor man's budget of 1947 imposed steep taxes on industrialists, infuriating Congress but underscoring equity. Amid partition talks, Liaquat advocated for Bengal and Punjab's division, ensuring viable territories. As violence erupted, he coordinated refugee relief. On August 14, 1947, Pakistan emerged, with Jinnah as Governor-General and Liaquat as Prime Minister. His role was pivotal. Without his administrative acumen, Jinnah's vision might have faltered. Anecdotes portray him as tireless, traveling relentlessly to rally support, his eloquence swaying crowds. Liaquat's diplomacy bridged factions, making him the movement's operational heart. Tenure as Prime Minister, steering a nascent nation. Assuming office on August 15, 1947, Liaquat confronted a nation in chaos, borders undefined, economy fractured, and millions displaced. He held multiple portfolios: defense, foreign affairs until 1949, and Kashmir affairs, as centralizing the Muslim League as Pakistan's dominant party. Becoming League president in 1948, after Jinnah's death on September 11th, he appointed Khawaja Nazimuddin Governor-General, consolidating power amid factionalism. His cabinet reflected diversity: Malik Ghulam Muhammad, finance; Zafarullah Khan, foreign affairs post-1949; Nishtar, communications; and Mandal, law, resigning in 1950 over minority issues. Adopting the 1935 Act as interim constitution, Liaquat pushed for a new framework, establishing the Basic Principles Committee. He navigated early crises, integrating princely states like Kalat and Bahawalpur, and quelling unrest in Baluchistan. Jinnah's passing intensified challenges. Tensions with the founder had simmered, with Jinnah labeling Liaquat ambitious. Yet Liaquat's leadership stabilized governance, emphasizing bureaucracy and military. His tenure saw the Rawalpindi conspiracy in March 1951, a leftist coup plot involving General Akbar Khan and poet Faiz Ahmed Faiz, leading to arrests and secret trials. Amid economic woes and East-West divides, Liaquat's rule was a balancing act, laying institutional groundwork despite criticisms of authoritarianism. Domestic challenges, fissures in the foundation. Liaquat's rule was besieged by internal strife. Socialist movements in West Pakistan, led by Faiz Ahmad Faiz, and communist surges in East Pakistan under Suhrawardi and Sajjad Zahir eroded League support. East Pakistan's Bengali majority felt neglected, fueling linguistic demands. Post-Jinnah, personal frictions emerged. Jinnah viewed Liaquat as disloyal. Minority crises in 1949-50 nearly sparked war with India, averted by the Nehru Pact. Military discontent over Kashmir diplomacy boiled into the 1951 Rawalpindi conspiracy, implicating 14 officers in a coup. A scandal involving General Gracie led to his replacement by Ayub Khan. Corruption allegations and League infighting weakened governance. Liaquat's centralization alienated provinces, sowing seeds for future instability. Despite these, his resilience held the nation together. Assassination, a mystery shrouded in tragedy. On October 16, 1951, at Rawalpindi's Company Bagh, renamed Liaquat Bagh, Liaquat addressed 100,000 amid heightened security. As he uttered Baradaran-e-Millat, brothers of the nation, Afghan militant Saeed Akbar Babrak, a Zadran tribesman known to police fired 2 shots into his chest. Liaquat collapsed, whispering, "May God protect Pakistan," before succumbing despite transfusions. Akbar was killed instantly. The motive eludes clarity. Pashtun nationalism, foreign intrigue, unverified U.S. links, or domestic plots. A planned speech text vanished. Buried at Mazar-e-Qaid, his death, Pakistan's first political assassination, destabilized the nation. Legacy: the martyr's enduring shadow. Liaqat's martyrdom cemented his status as Jinnah's heir, a democracy guardian whose policies endure. Honored with stamps, eponyms like Liaquat University and Hospital, his wife, Rana, continued his work as diplomat and Sindh governor. Films like Jinnah, 1998, portray him. Yet his unsolved death symbolizes Pakistan's vulnerabilities, influencing its path toward military rule. As Shaheed-e-Millat, he inspires resilience in a nation he helped birth.